Hi, it's Joanne. Today we're watching Superman and Lois, Season 4, Episode 6, When the Lights Come On. I am stressed out what Luthor's going to do now that he has lost his connection, well, his last connection to humanity, and otherwise really excited for this show. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and let's go. Okay, well, at least, you know, it is just the hotel he owned. It's not a human. You literally just had everything you claim you wanted offered to you on a platter and turned it down.
Lex?
I do feel like, I mean, someone put in one of my reactions, someone commented like, Lex isn't a psychopath because he loves his daughter. And like, when I call him a psychopath, I don't mean he's literally a psychopath, but he's definitely a narcissist of some kind. Again, I'm not actually diagnosing this man because his daughter didn't do exactly what he wanted. She wasn't okay with the world being the exact way that he says it is. And so he's done with her. He's going to burn everything. Fuck her. Like, I don't think he doesn't not love her, but he's not a well man, and he believes that he is the only person in the world who is right. He's the only person in the world who matters and who has the right to decide if he should get revenge or not. Like, he's just
Is everything
a
okay?
bad person, and like, we can just focus on him being evil every now and then and not have him in it as much, if you ask me.
Something less than enthusiastic about moving headquarters.
They'll get over it.
Moving
Maybe although some of
headquarters.
their concerns are understandable. What are they for?
So it's some sort of parts for. I tried to pause it and then it went too far. Tantalum carbide, high wattage contact, red solar light. That's not good. Luminosity. Make 8. So he wants 8 red solar light things. Not
What are they
good.
for?
Your loyalty was the other.
He knows just
Make no mistake.
when she was wavering, he
I
gave
have a
her
plan.
a little sprinkle to keep her in.
I know exactly.
That was all this morning?
Just give yourself.
He is doing too much.
3 or 4, nothing too crazy.
That is too
Grab a bite
crazy.
if you
I mean,
can.
he's helped
Yeah,
people, which
sure.
is very
Makes
good.
sense.
You're a kid.
It's just, you've got some salt and pepper going on.
Oh,
What? Where?
I mean, there's a patch.
A patch?
Lee, we're gonna need to reschedule.
This will only take a minute.
be careful, Lana.
What can I do
I love
for
you
you?
and I'm proud of you, but be careful.
Or what you can stop doing.
No, but that's just how things are done around here.
Not anymore.
Excuse me?
I'm building my new headquarters in Smallville. Nothing you do is going to change that.
Mm.
Do your job, Mayor Lang.
My job
It's
is
protecting
protecting the people of
Smallville.
Smallville from
Uh-huh.
someone like you.
How long?
Need to know why he's doing this.
It's simple. Luthor's moving here to harass my family.
Yep,
What's she talking about?
I said leave.
it's the truth. You should probably do a business coup, but he will then murder you.
Not careful, he'll take you down with him.
That'll never happen.
The only person he cares about is himself.
He's literally
If
just
you don't
proven
believe
that.
me, look at how he treated his own daughter. The real question is what happens when you two don't see eye to eye.
Well done, Lois. I was gonna say, like, coming and asking her questions, not gonna get anywhere. Trying to get under her skin, we can get there. First little step. Have the boys told them that she knows?
You boys ready for the football season?
You've forgiven
Coach,
Jonathan then?
Kind of banned from the team. I haven't played in 2 years.
How about you two just keep worrying about being...
Oh my god.
Coach, I
How
don't
many
think that's-
people know this thing?
We got a real opportunity here.
I've heard the rumors, but Luthor didn't murder those people. Even Lois said so.
Yeah, those people.
Which doesn't make him a good person.
Is Luthor really that bad?
Yes. Worse.
Yeah.
Compared to what you sacrificed?
Sorry?
Everything you've done for this town. For the...
How many people?
just would feel right.
Who's talking? Because there were only... Oh, she might have been one of the people that was on the street. There were a few people on the street. Like, how many people know this secret now?
Passion
Is it just me, or did it feel like 80 knows who I really am?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Smallville knows at this point.
Have a seat.
Yes, parents need to parent. Child overworking.
bro?
Nothing wrong.
You want to
but-
work here?
When you push yourself too hard, that's when mistakes can happen.
So tricky, isn't it? It's the same thing I felt with Jordan, that Jonathan can't keep doing what he's doing. He's doing far too much, and he is just a kid, and he needs to have time to himself, and the more you do, the more likely you're going to get tired or get reckless or make a mistake. But at the same time, he is saving lives. Like, if he hadn't gone to Montreal, the people in that lorry would be dead. So, like, I understand both sides of it. And Jonathan doesn't view himself as a kid, even though he is a kid. Like, or just a kid. If I can do it, I'm capable. And I just... Ugh.
She needs you to stop. Then leave her alone.
Smallville does not want you.
Sell me your farm, you get $10 million.
I mean...
And so will everyone else in this bar.
Fuck. Oof, that is so manipulative because $10 million is like beyond life-changing. It would just solve significant number of problems. Like, money doesn't buy happiness, but it fucking solves a lot of the problems that cause unhappiness. But also, it's not just for her, it's for the people in her community that are in the bar right now. So there's not that sense of betraying the community for Lex, because she's also giving it to everyone around her. Now, I would need that in writing. Confirmation that, like, all of these people are going to get it. I would also be a dick and be like, Clark and Lana are in the bar, so they are also getting the millions, right? Yep, cool. Like, but I mean, I would hopefully not take it, but he's so manipulative.
It doesn't feel right, Edie.
It isn't right. Don't do it.
He wants it this bad. Something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The answer's still no.
I'm proud of Smallville. I'm scared for Smallville, but I'm proud of Smallville.
Like I said,
Because it sounds like your daughter wanted to be in your life, but you just couldn't walk away from revenge summer camp.
Yep, pretty much accurately what happened.
And now you're threatening the future that I built for us!
Luthor doesn't view it as an us.
Because you have to choose. Me. Or them. There is no middle ground.
Them who? Everyone else in the entire world? The rest of the company? Your own morals and conscience? Because she's made that choice a long time ago.
It's about time that somebody stood up to that bald-headed loser.
I'm scared.
80 is the...
Serious, I think this would be really good for me.
I mean, if it's what she wants to do, it would be heartbreaking to lose her, to have her not be around.
These
but...
programs...
I crashed my car. I've been trying to take baby steps to find my right path, but...
If it's what she wants, it could be
I
brilliant
need something
for
bigger,
her.
and I need something...
Do you think that maybe you're just going a little too all in on the Superboy thing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. You know, I wouldn't have to do so much if you were helping me.
Boys.
But
Well,
you're the one choosing to work
Jonathan.
at a diner instead of saving people's lives.
You know, it's
That's
more
because when I get
complicated
involved, I
than
make
that.
things worse.
And you don't, sweetheart.
Part of me always wanted to not be so different, but I guess I just didn't expect.
all the baggage. Getting older.
You do not make everything worse, sweetheart. I'm so concerned right now. She's smelling something, hearing something. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fucking hell! This is what I was really, really worried about. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh, Sarah, sweetie. Oh, well done, Sarah. Fucking hell. I'm just so relieved they're okay, mostly.
Lex Luthor tried to kill me over a land deal?
Yes. He's a monster.
Sweetie, can you get lost?
Squeezing harder and harder. Couldn't breathe.
Thank God my dad makes us sleep with bats under our bed. It's the only thing I had to protect us.
You did good, Sarah, sweetie.
I didn't mean it like that.
It's okay, you're right. We should have been here, Sarah.
No, I don't blame you guys.
You
It's not like you
couldn't
guys
have
are waiting
known.
around all day for...
Where's your father?
Isn't he with you?
Oh, I think he might have gone to murder Luthor, or at least talk to him. Oh god. Don't go to his level. Talk to him.
Just stop trying to set me up.
Stop lying!
Clark, sweetheart, you're not getting
Your friend
through to
Otis is in
him.
custody, and we will make him talk.
We'll see about
You're
that.
giving him everything he wants right now, Clark. Letting him
This
see
is
he's
over.
getting to you.
Are going to end you.
I completely understand where Clark is coming
You're
from.
going to end me.
Oh lord, yep.
Try doing it without powers. Left of your pathetic family.
Clark, this is giving Luthor what he wants, sweetheart. And he like is a thug. And you normally have super strength. So I suppose the fact that he's powerless means he can beat him up because he won't be like. But violence isn't the answer, and this isn't the answer. Clark, this isn't achieving anything. You've given him what he wants. Sweetheart, they understand why you're in this, why you're feeling this.
I always knew Superman was a facade.
No.
Now they see who you really.
Every single person has the capacity for darkness. Every single person has the capacity to be angry. Every single person, including the best people on the planet, like Superman, have the capacity to be pushed to the edge so they do something like this. You live in the edge. You cross the edge when they know that he is a man who is been put through too much and has snapped. But you did just give Lex exactly what he wanted.
That was awesome. You went
No,
full
it
Mortal
wasn't,
Kombat on
boys.
Clark. Can't win.
Okay.
It's what he wanted. For your father to stoop down to his level.
He had it coming. He tried to kill me. If anyone deserved to have their ass beat.
Boys,
Doesn't mean it's right.
enough.
This was my fault. If I hadn't fallen asleep, I would have heard Miss Lang.
Or if I'd been listening at all.
It's no
I
one's
was wrong.
fault but Luthor's.
I can't just shut everything out. Me doing nothing makes things worse.
What happened tonight?
If I'm Lana, I'm shipping Sarah and Sophie off to Europe immediately.
Should we go first?
Wait. Like what? Fly out right now?
Greek Islands?
Greek Islands.
No.
Boys, let her say yes, please.
Don't apologize. Just promise me you'll stop him.
We're doing everything we can.
I promise.
Good.
Why are you here?
I choose you. I'm an
Because you
idiot.
asked me to choose. Let's get you a killer suit.
Does she mean like styling, fashion, or does she mean like supervillain? Okay, so there was a point in this episode when I was genuinely afraid Lana was going to die. Holy shit. So the like lighter aspects of this episode with like John running himself too ragged, doing too much. It is such an impossible balance to strike, like I've said it several times I think during this reaction, because when he's doing this, he's saving lives. If he doesn't go and do the thing, people will probably get hurt or die. So yes, he needs to do it, but if he's doing too much, then he's not around for other times when he's needed, and he's more likely to get sloppy because he'll be tired. He doesn't know his own limits yet, and he's 16 and deserves to be 16. I am glad he seems to have realized that, but I'm also sad because it took something horrific happening for him to understand why everyone was saying that to him. I am also glad that Jordan is like, I can't just close it off. I can't just stop this. Like, I have to, because it is, I mean, at this point, I kind of stopped that sentence because I don't know entirely, like, is Jordan going to be like, let's be Superboy 50-50? Is Jordan going to just be like, if there's a crisis, I'm going to go, but otherwise I'm just going to do my own thing? At this point, I'm not entirely sure, like, where Jordan's head is at. But regardless, this is a part of him. He is half Kryptonian. He's had these powers for 2 years now. Yeah, 2, going on 3. Like, there were 2 years now. So he is that person. And cutting off that part of him, ever since he's decided to stop using his powers, he's just looked smaller. He's holding himself smaller. And it was really sad watching it. So him kind of realizing that, well, no, I can't put it all on John. And also, like, this is who I am. And I really hope we get to see him starting to trust himself again, because Yeah, he didn't do everything perfectly in the whole situation, but nobody would have done because the situation was fucked. And he didn't do anything wrong. He was just a little too reckless. It didn't make any of this happen. He didn't cause any of this. That was all Luthor. So I think it's going to be hopefully a really good thing for him, this decision he's come to of he's going to try again. He's going to not shut himself off from that side of him. Hopefully we'll get to see him really finding the right balance, because I think, you know, to begin with, it was all like he was really excited and happy to have powers, but it was a lot, and it was a lot for him to deal with. Then we saw him kind of lose his head a little bit, get a little bit too high on the ego of it, like kind of going from having not much self-worth to too much like self-confidence, and losing himself to all of it, and then he pulled right the way back to even less self-confidence than he had before. And so I hope now we're going to get to watch over these last few episodes Jordan kind of finding a middle ground within himself where he is happy about who he is. For John, it is obviously a different story. The boys are both very different, they have different lives and everything. I think he definitely has the feeling of, well, I can help people, therefore I've got to go and do it right now. But I hope he can kind of see that he has worth even when he's not doing it. It doesn't matter. Like, yes, he can save lives, and yes, I love him for doing it, but he matters just as much for just being him, a 16-year-old kid. That's okay too. And what I'm hoping for most of all is seeing these boys working together, bouncing off each other, leaning on each other, because they are always at their best when they work together and lean on each other, and they're always at their worst when they're fighting or pulling away from each other. So I really hope we get to see that. Clark is obviously still struggling with the new reality of his body, its capabilities. I've talked a lot before about how it really reminds me, probably because of my life experiences, of getting a chronic illness or an illness of some kind where your body is just no longer able to do the things it once was, and that is terrifying. But to live with it, you need to kind of accept your new normal, understand what you can do, what you can't do, where your limits are. And I think he's slowly getting there with Lois. And in some ways, it's definitely like you were saying, that there are times when he wished he could be more normal, and now he is, and it's terrifying, but he'll get there, he'll be fine. I love that basically everybody in Smallville knows who they are. Like, everyone. Like, was that woman, was she there that night? I feel like there was a woman, so it might have been her. But there's like, was the coach there? Like, so many people know this secret now. But I also feel like Smallville, as it is now especially, will keep the secret. Maybe not amongst each other by the looks of it, but they will keep the secret. They're not going to go blabbing. They're not going to go selling the story. I mean, there will still be some shit people in Smallville who would if they found out, but the community itself has been through so much, pulled through so much, and now can understand just how much Clark, not only did his mother, was she a guardian angel of it all, but Clark himself has been the one protecting them and saving them from all of these crises. So I'm hoping and thinking that Smallville will, like, if the Kents need them, Smallville will be there for them, because that is not always what Smallville has been. It lost its way at various points, but I think we've seen them come together. We've seen them build a real community, and kind of confirm the community was already there. So I think they're safe with Smallville knowing. Obviously, you're never 100% safe, but it's gonna be okay. Then, Lana, all episode, I just sick to my stomach feeling like Luthor was going to do something. The red solar lamps, I was thinking like he could go after any of the Kents because like he can neutralize them. But I was particularly worried about Lana because he made such a thing of like, oh, you know, until you wrong me, like I'm not gonna come after you, and then she was working against him very obviously. And then he made that comment about the security system. Fucking traumatizing. I'm so relieved that she's okay, because there was genuinely a moment where I thought she was going to die. But I'm so thankful she's okay. I'm so sorry she had to go through that. I'm sorry Sarah had to go through that, because like, yeah, she saved her mum, but everything about that was freaking traumatizing. Now for Sarah, I do think studying abroad, a trip abroad, completely out of her comfort zone when she's never really left Smallville before, other than to go to like Metropolis like one time, I think that will be really good for her. I think it's probably a discussion they should have had with Kyle involved as well. But if it's something she wants, and she definitely seems like she's in a good mental health space for it, I think it's going to be great for her. And it has the extra little bonus of, if it's not okay for any reason, technically speaking, they can get to her and help her quicker than buying a plane ticket and flying there. Like, if she's having any problems whatsoever, people can find out and they can come and help her. And as with anything, just because you say it's a year abroad, if after 2 months, 6 months, 5 months, she realizes she doesn't like it and she doesn't want to do it, she can just come home. It's like, I think it's going to be fantastic for her, and something that will really help her find her way as a person and believe in herself and believe in her own abilities. Because we've been seeing her go down this journey. She's made mistakes along the way because she is a teenager, but I think it's going to be good for her. Realistically, I don't know how quickly you'd be able to set something like this up, but given the Luthor of it all, let's do it quick. Terrifying in so many ways. Now, I was concerned that Luthor was going to use those red solar lights to target the boys, because, I mean, I know at this point, I think he doesn't even know Jonathan has powers, but, like, obviously he thought Clark, without the son, without his abilities, would just be a weak little nerdy dude. He didn't account for the fact that Clark is kind of decently strong on top of being Superman, and that it negates it, but it doesn't negate it all the way. The boys are still children, so like, if they are under the effects of the red solar light, they will not be able to fight off grown adults, because they are still children, their bodies are still growing. However strong they are, they will still struggle. So I'm glad it was Clark, but yeah, Clark really snapped and gave Luthor exactly what he wanted. Now, I'm not blaming Clark in the sense that, like, yeah, that's not one of my favorite things he's ever done, but I fully do understand why he got there, why he was pushed there. And all of Lex is like, ha ha ha, I knew Superman was just a facade. Like, what? That's what you say if Superman flies up to you and is like, I'm gonna laser you and kill you right now. I'm gonna throw you off this building using my super strength. Like, if Superman used his abilities and murdered you to get rid of you, which there are probably people out there who wouldn't necessarily think that's a bad thing, but that would be Superman breaking his moral code, going against it. But just coming to be like, how dare you try and kill someone for just like overstopping a land deal, you absolute piece of shit. Like, you just tried to murder my friend and her child in their home. You killed me, you killed my father-in-law, you threatened my family, you've tortured my family. Like, I think snapping a little bit makes sense. It doesn't mean Clark isn't all of the good, wonderful things we all know he is. And I just really hope Clark understands that and isn't spiraling in his own head about what Luthor was saying, because it was a load of shit. Like, one mistake, one time where you let your anger get the better of you doesn't define you. But if you decide to be Lex Luthor and his little side bitch, that defines you. Every time you make the choice to make the bad decision, you get offered something like a miracle, like his daughter being like, come be a grandfather and know your grandchild and be in my life, and you walk away from that and then angrily burn everything you had of her. Like, that is when you're a bad person making these choices. I do not think less of Clark for this. I think it was a mistake, largely because it was quite clearly what Luthor wanted. I mean, Luthor wanted Lana dead, but like, he knew that would trigger a reaction from Clark in this moment. He chose to go after Lana because she'd stood up to him, and he can't deal with that, especially when it's a woman standing up to him. Lex is particularly not a fan of that. But he also knew it would hurt Clark and it would trigger Clark, and it did. You should never go and confront someone when you're in that kind of anger, because you're not in control of yourself properly. And when it's someone like Lex, you're doing what he wants, you're giving in to what he wants, and that is the last thing you should ever do. I also don't think, like, Lex's whole like, haha, they see you now. I mean, like, the boys, bless them, were like, oh my god, that was so cool. Children, no. Like, bless your souls, that was terrible. That was like one of the worst moments of your father's life in a lot of ways. Again, I'm not like, he beat up an innocent person, how could he? Because it was Lex Luthor who freaking had it coming. I mean, I don't agree with violence, I don't agree with hitting. In real life, one punch can kill somebody. Doesn't matter, like, you think, oh, I'm just a bit angry at my mate, I'm gonna punch him. You can kill somebody, and it happens. But this is different, obviously. But, like, I'm never someone who supports violence. I occasionally make a joke like, oh, I want to slap him or I want to punch him, but I never actually mean it because I don't think violence is ever the answer. But I understand, and like, if anybody does deserve being beaten up, it is Lex Luthor. Like, again, nobody does, but if anybody does, it is Lex Luthor. So I get it, and I don't think differently of Clark. If this becomes a pattern of behavior, if he keeps losing control of himself and going around assaulting people, then I will begin to think less of him. But it was just a really shitty, bad decision that he made, and I hope he doesn't let it spiral too much in his head, because that's what Lex Luthor wants it to do. I'm very concerned about what their next step is. When she said a suit, I'm assuming she meant some kind of superpowered supervillain suit and not just like a stylish, fashionable suit. But maybe she just really wants to take him to like Paris Fashion Week. And you know what? If Lex could just fuck off to Paris Fashion Week, I will be okay with that. This was a brilliant episode. It was a terrifying episode in so many ways. We've got like 4 episodes left. Jesus Christ. I love the show. I don't want it to end. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon. Thank you so much for watching.